Welcome back to the shooting channel, and welcome back to a different gun. It's not a Browning, it's not a Yildiz, it's not a Blaser, it is a Lincoln. This particular gun, Lincoln was a manufacturer, they're an Italian manufacturer. They were made in the Fiat factory in Italy, up the Brescia Valley, and unfortunately Lincoln are not in production anymore. The company went, they were imported and built by John Rothery Wholesale, and this was a gun that I acquired, and this actually is a Lincoln Premier, but this is a Lincoln Premier Oxford Gun Company special, and this was a gun that Dad ordered probably 35-40 years ago, and he ordered a load of these through John Rothery. I can remember when I was very young, and they were Lincolns, but they were special, and they had a 410 set of barrels and a 28 bore set of barrels. And one came in the other day, and I remember this from a very young age, and I just wanted to do a review. Yes, Lincolns were not particularly expensive guns in those days. They used to retail at about £1,000 to £1,500, depending what they were. They were made by Fiat in Italy, but they were nice little guns, and I always thought they were nice guns. They'd got sort of grade 2 wood on it. They were slightly hand engraved. They had sort of a duck on the side there. It had Lincoln Premier there and a pheasant on that side. And when this came in, find another one. I mean, you will not find many of these. As far as I can remember, there was only 20 of these available to buy. And they had ventilated ribs, non-ventilated barrels. The 410 barrels were fixed choke, and the 28 bore barrels was multi-choke, and they were a fantastic little partridge shooting gun. The Lincoln Premier, Lincoln brand, again, because they were built in those days, butt plate was quite hard. Height, they had plenty of height in the comb, which was actually quite rare for an Italian gun. Pistol grip, gold trigger, selective safety catch. The Lincoln brand was all tied up with David Nicholson, and it was all, there was lots of brands like Lincoln, David Nicholson, Parker Hale. It was all the traditional gun trade, English gun trade brands. And I just wanted to do a review of this because things like this don't come around very long. And obviously this was an Oxford Gun Company special, because my father ordered, I think it was either 20 or 30, and some of them they all had 2 sets of barrels. Some of them had 410 28 gauge, some of them had 28 gauge 20, some of them had 20 410s. They were a very mixture, and they were a special edition. I think he sold them for about £1,500 back about 25-30 years ago. Comment below, has any of you seen one of these Lincoln OGC specials before? It would be very interesting. And this was a client of the Oxford Gun Companies from going back 30 years ago, and I just wanted to shoot it and just see what it's like. So I've got my 28 gauge cartridges, and I've got my 410 cartridges from Express and Fiocchi, and let's see what they're like. Pull, 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 I tell you what, it does put a smile on my face shooting something like this that's got a bit of history behind it. Pull, 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 they were a brilliant little partridge shooting gun, and yes, they were just a fun gun for when it was produced. Okay, you'll probably use the 410s and 28s. You might use the 28s for a little bit more for a partridge shooting gun. I don't know what you bought them for, but they were just a fun toy. And to say that you can actually have a 410 and a 28 gauge. So if we just shoot got a little partridge clay here, press C, and let's see what that shoots like. No recoil at all. It literally, even though it's got quite a hard butt plate and no recoil reducer, it just works. Pull, 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 pull. So again, if I just take the fore end off, take the barrels off, and now I'll try the 28 gauge. Same stock. Pull, 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 pull. Again, the 28 gauge recoils a little bit more. Pull. The 28 gauge recoils a little bit more, so the chokes, again it comes with 5 chokes for the 28 gauge. But it was just a really fun gun. That's the 2 different calibers, 410, 28 gauge. And I just thought, if somebody's interested, if somebody wants a rare gun with 2 sets of barrels, but 2 sets of different caliber barrels, it works. The thing that I found really interesting is they've got 2 sets of barrels, but they're built on the 28 bore action. So it's really most guns that have 2 sets of barrels have the same caliber, but this one has got 2 different ones on the 28 gauge action. So I think that's a really good tick in the box, and it's just a shame that not many manufacturers do this anymore. And they've done it nicely for the price of them. You've got a hand engraved action there, hand engraved there, Lincoln Premier special there. Again, find another one. I'd love to hear anyone's comments. Have you seen one of these before? Have you seen a Lincoln with other calibers, different calibers? What have you seen? It came in, and I have to say, it just put a smile on my face. 30-inch and 32-inch barrels, it just put a smile on my face. And there you have it, the Lincoln OGC Special with the 410 and the 28 gauge barrels. There was only, as far as my memory goes, I thought there was 20, there might have been 30. There was either 20 or 30 built back about 35 years ago. So there you have it, the Lincoln 410 28 gauge. I hope you've enjoyed this program. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. don't forget, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us to give you content like this, and it helps us if anyone's got a different gun that they want us to review and shoot. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'd love to hear if anyone's got a different gun. Thank you for watching. Please comment below if you've got anything you would like to say, any information on anything we have in these films. Comment below or drop us an email and we'll do our best to help you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.